We are a group of dancers and storytellers of all ages. All of us couldn't come on this journey, but we're here 8.5 to 90 years old. We have had the privilege to dance and tell stories with many elders in Minnesota, and we have some stories from them to share with you. And we're going to invite you, as we tell the story, just to join with us. You can just move your fingers or your hand as much as you want. And then there's an ending. And when you see us do the ending, we'd like you to join in. And we're going to go like this. We're going to reach out. Do it with us. Try it. And then we're going to draw that sweetness in. And then we're going to send it out again. And that'll be the end. So it goes like this. It's called Dances of the Heart. Our elders, we were all in a circle, and we were talking. You know how sometimes in one moment you hold both joy and grief. Just in that instant, both joy and grief. And Catherine, well, she was telling us about the time that she held her nephew up high so he could touch the leaf on the tree. You can join us. And Grace was telling us about stroking her dog named Sport. And our other friend Maria told us of the time her niece fell asleep with her hands on Maria's face. And Alfie told us about the time that she was holding her grandbaby up high, who was crying, and she had her to laugh instead. And Peter told of the time that he had to say goodbye to his father, who he was never going to see again. And our friend Grady, well, he worked on ship, and he chopped lots of vegetables. And Olga, she was trying out a chair at Target, and it fell to the ground. But luckily, Olga was fine. And I was telling of the time that I went to get my daughter Ellie from the airport. I hadn't seen her in such a long time. And Cecil, our friend Cecil, his stories rest right on his rabbit-headed cane.
Our friend Jack Beloy was telling us about fishing in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, bringing in the big one. And Melvin about a sweet moment where he got to hold his granddaughter on his lap. Our friend Dorothy was telling us about her husband. She missed him so much. And Elsie danced her story.
Ira started to tell us a story about a mule, but he never finished, so we don't know what happened there. And then Leah was all up in the air one day, and her friend said, "Just come on down to center." And Janie was remembering the first time she saw her great-granddaughter. And Muriel said, "We better birth that baby." Aletta said, "We better rock that baby." Diane said, "Let's fly."
We need sound.
Fly longer.
We got more time.
Well, I want to tell you something about my dream. I dreamed about the elders and the young kids, the babies, and God showed me that to always take care of the little kids, the babies and the elders, because a helping hand means a whole lot. But what you do put out comes back to you, whether it's good or bad. If it's bad, it'll come back to you bad, which will be double up. If it's good, it'll come back to you double up good. So always do when you put out something, put it out good, so when it come back, it double up good for you. So I put out bad, it'll come back bad, double up on you bad. Then you always want to lay it on God. It ain't God, it's us, that we won't obey His word and do what He say do. And everything will be all right in due time. Thank you.
She couldn't be here, but here is her story. Diane said, "Life is like a library full of books to be read. If all of us would take time to stop and listen to each other's stories, to understand them and read them, the world would be a much better place."